Welcome to Unprofessional Therapy. He is Brad,
He's Michael.
and we have no degrees, but just decades of experience. I'm going to make a few statements. We're going to have a couple of assumptions and come to a conclusion. That's the plan. But first of all, you said there's something that you find very hard. Is that it? No.
It's I saw a video and I agree with 99, well, I agree with all of it. It's
Okay.
hard being a man. It's really hard being a man, especially in today's world. Um what Before I go, I mean, I sent you the video so you know
Yes.
what we're talking about. And of
Oh.
course, put that video in the link
Oh
in,
yeah.
in the
Okay.
description because
Absolutely.
it's so they
Yes.
understand. Because it was about a woman, and this was a while ago that she did this.
20 years
Uh,
ago is what.
yeah, 20 years
Yeah.
ago. She dressed up as a man for 18 months and acted and went into the male world for 18 months. Now she's a lesbian, so I don't know why that means anything, but she's a lesbian. And she
I,
really struggled with being a man. She didn't think it was that hard, and she didn't realize how difficult it truly was.
One of those
So
things,
I won't.
and the reason I do think it matters is because it was very much about her initial feelings about how, and I'm putting words in there to say how
Yeah,
easy she thought it might be, but that's kind of the premise that it's built on. But
yeah.
anyhow, yeah.
Yeah, and women, I love women. They're great, they're wonderful, but some women just really don't understand. They're like, well, how come he doesn't ask me out? How come he doesn't do this? It's because we're afraid to talk to you because of all of the negativity. I mean, we could say boo, and you could scream bad words, and get us put in jail and get us. We don't know, and we don't know you from another woman. We don't know if you're the crazy one or a normal one, and we're not about to risk our entire livelihood just to say hi.
It's
And that's a stress like you don't believe, man.
yeah, yeah. It's very interesting. Like I said, hopefully people that take the time to listen to us are going to watch that video also. Um,
Yeah.
it's only gotten worse in those 20 years too. Um,
Yes.
one of the things that and I didn't follow it completely, so I probably shouldn't be talking about it. That's never stopped me with anything before, though. The whole thing about the meme, or what it became a meme
Me too.
about no, the
Oh,
bears. Would you rather be in the wild with? Would you rather face a wild bear or a man or whatever? Which do you prefer?
and the bear. Yeah.
Yeah, and,
You're like,
and the
oh,
bear
bear.
won. And
Yeah,
I
I did
think
see that.
that speaks volumes to where
Yeah.
people are at with their psychology these days. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And,
it's
and
just
it's one of the things that really resonated with me because, and I didn't realize I wasn't the only person having these thoughts, is I was very aware, and I still am very aware of my body language when there's a woman around.
okay.
Because I try not to get too close. I try to make them feel safe and understand that I'm not going to do anything, that they can be comfortable around me because I'm harmless. I'm not. I don't. I don't. I'm just not that kind of a guy that's going to be aggressive or anything like that. And it's in your head all the time, all
One
the time. When
one
you're
of the most
going on a train, when you're going when you're in a mall, when you're anywhere walking down the street. Now in Thailand, it's not as much of a problem, but I still do it.
right,
I'm
right.
still conscious of doing it because there are men around here, and there's not in where I live, but in the touristy area, there are the really bad actors.
Yeah, yeah. One of the most interesting things that I thought about while watching the video and was interested in listening to was the author of the
Mhm,
book talking about the fact that she was a female, used to being in that guarded position,
mhm.
found herself playing the part of a man, being a man for that time, and being on the other side of it and seeing how stressful that was. She's like, I used to be like that. I know where it's coming from. I know where the women are feeling these, um, the trepidation about having to deal with somebody and the potential for problems. And she knew all that stuff. She knew then what it was like to be on the other side of it and have to deal with the stress of seeing that anytime you came in contact, every time she came in contact with another woman, she was now feeling the stress of that we feel coming off of them about us, knowing that we're safe, knowing that we're okay, but still having to have that guarded persona to present yourself that way at all times.
Yeah.
At all
Yeah.
times. For
Yeah.
I'm going to say for no reason. There's obviously a reason there.
There's reasons. Yeah.
But just the stress that she was feeling that from the
Yeah.
other side, knowing like that it was a
Yeah.
constant.
She could see both sides. She saw both sides of the coin,
Yeah,
and it opened her eyes. I
yeah.
mean, and the other thing, one of the bigger things, and I think you talked about that, we talked about this offline, is that one thing that men don't do is open up. We're always
Absolutely.
very,
Even
very. We have to be stoic, you know, and that's a stereotype from way back when. It's less. I think nowadays it's a lot less. I think, you know, like you said, the book
a
is
lot
20 years
less,
old. I
but
know I don't have a problem. You know, if I'm watching a crybaby movie, I'll cry a little bit. I can't hold it in. I wear my
um,
emotions on a sleeve.
that's not good either, though. But I mean, that
No, it
depends. So,
isn't. It isn't. It's
yeah. So the other thing that, and I don't want to take anything away from that, and I'm definitely better about that myself too. But
mhm.
it is, uh, it's interesting to me from what I've seen and what I've heard. Because I don't know, I've never dressed as a woman and pretended to be a woman for 18 months, so I can't speak to this
Right,
maybe with
right.
the authority that this author does. But I've seen in the past that women behave differently when it's just women and they're not being observed by anybody else.
Yeah.
Men generally don't behave
Nope.
differently. Well, they may be more lewd and more crude and so on, but then it's more bravado, more macho, more but as far as letting down emotions and expressing things, that doesn't happen just in groups of men. Generally, that doesn't happen
Interesting.
unless they've gone to
Right.
a safe space, a men's group, or something like that. What I found hilarious recently was a female comedian talking about that if her man explains too much, then there's something wrong and she doesn't trust him. Because men, she's like, she gave the example of asking her man about what this particular, the example happened to be Michael. She's talking to her man. It's like, what's your friend's Michael's last name? And he's like, I don't know. It's like, well, what does he do for a living? I don't know. She's like, well, what do you guys, how is he your friend? He's been your friend for like 15 years. And he's like, he likes Lakers. I like Lakers. That's it. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's not
Yeah.
far off because
Yeah.
guys don't share theirs. They're you find something you like, guy likes it too. Hey, we're buddies. We're
Yeah,
great. We talk
cool.
to each other. Hey, how's it going? What's your last? I don't know. What do you do? I don't know. That's just kind of how it
Or
goes. So
they might even lie about what they do.
sure, sure. The other thing
Uh,
is too the fact that that not. It was interesting with her saying that when she did show any emotions, when she did let people pass that facade, or she did show cracks in it for whatever reason, she said opportunities dried up
yeah.
for her. Potential job offers, things like that, changed because she didn't act
Hold
like a
it in.
man. Yeah, she didn't hold it in. She didn't act like a man.
Yep.
So fascinating to see and hear. It's something that I think I might actually even read if I get the chance.
You know, maybe. I don't think I would read it because I'm hate
Because you
reading.
don't read.
But I mean, it's. I think that I have. And there's other people like me like this. I have some insight on women because I grew up with my sister and all of her cheerleader friends, and my mom. No, there was no male role model in my house at all. So I I'd seen how women are, which is probably why I'm a little bit more sensitive to it. But you just don't, you never know. You know,
I
they're interesting. I love them.
well, I think it's interesting too. A couple of things. So first of all, I'm surprised and saddened to hear you say that you didn't know other people were like that. The other guys were
Yeah,
like that, or just in general, the whole thing and stuff.
yeah.
Um, so that's one thing. The second thing, though, is it's interesting too in the fact that I have the similar experience of being raised by my aunt.
Mhm.
So I wasn't even in necessarily a single parent home, but there was no strong male influence there for me. So um, it sounds weird to say this, but I was going to say, talking to my wife is like, well, that's one of the things that I loved about you. You didn't have the typical male
Mhm.
traits to
Get over.
ignore or get past or whatever.
Yeah.
So it felt a little weird because it's like, well, what are you saying? I'm not a guy. I'm not,
Yeah, exactly. I'm
yeah,
not Mr.
that
Macho.
bravado there like wants to kick in and so on. But I understand what she's saying. And,
You go, I'm a man.
but I am. I was going to cry about it, but I didn't. But anyhow, yeah, as far as the sensitivity goes, maybe that does put you in a more sensitive place. But again, that's not saying anything against anybody else that did grow up in a traditional home with a strong
Yeah.
family, a strong manly influence in there, and stuff like that.
I'd like to know if anybody wants to leave a comment that did grow up with a good, strong male role model, how different it is from what we're talking about that we experienced to what they experienced.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
really like to hear that.
I
Just
had
because
one.
I have no clue. I mean, I just don't know.
Well, that's it. You don't know what you don't know. And so you
Right.
can't miss what you don't know. I had one
Right.
friend, for whatever reason, continually wanted to give me grief about growing up without a dad. And that was just whatever I don't know why he fixated on it. So my first question is like, well, what's wrong in his life that this is something that he
Right.
gravitated toward and just fixed it?
Right.
But it's ridiculous because he's like, oh, I saw in that movie Shark Tale, there's a scene of sharks sitting around talking to each other. I guess they represent masculinity. And one of the sharks saying that he didn't have a dad. And he's like, oh, I thought of you. And what are you talking about? It's weird.
Is this someone that we went to high school with, or is
No,
this
it
someone I
isn't.
went to?
No, this
Is it? Okay.
was
I'm like,
completely.
I'm trying to think of any kind of
And you
mutual friend. I can't think of
could,
one.
there's probably several.
Oh yeah,
Um,
well,
but
never said anything in high school.
it's weird uh, that there is such a difference there, and I don't know why I'm saying
Yeah.
that because everybody's experience is
Yeah,
unique.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That we could. Boy, there's a tangent we could go on how everything is so different and things that we can't even imagine that people are like, that's my day. You know,
yeah.
that's every 5 minutes for me. It's like, huh? You know, and then we're like this, and we're like, well, this is my day. They're like, I can't even fathom that.
Exactly,
So
exactly. So
it's
that
yeah.
that kind of brings us to the thing that I wanted to talk about today was
Oh, I don't care what you want to talk about.
statements,
Like that.
assumptions, and oh, sorry, conclusions. Statements,
Inclusion.
assumptions, conclusions. Some
Conclusion.
people, they're not here anymore because they tuned out as soon as we started talking about being men. Oh, it's another reason why Fight Club was so awesome. But anyhow, um, statements. If I say it's hard being a man, there is a certain people, certainly not
Yeah.
our audience, certainly
Right.
not you or I. There are certain that are
Mhm.
going to turn away and say, you hate women. Part of the reason why you said you love women. But they assume that if you say being a man is hard, they're making the assumption that the opposite,
Being a woman.
you're also saying the opposite. They're drawing
Yeah.
a hard line. They're making
Yeah.
assumptions and conclusions based on what you said, and they don't understand that there can be subtle nuances between anything that you say.
You just reminded me of Office Space.
Yeah.
Jump to conclusions. Game.
That's right. $1 million idea out there just waiting to be scooped up by somebody. So, and I think that's too bad that people do that, because
Yeah.
if you would open up and listen to somebody else's opinion, um, again,
You might
going
learn
back to what we
something.
just talked about, is like there's so many other pressures on you that get ignored or overlooked. And so if you don't listen to what somebody is saying when they say whatever it is they say, you're missing out on either an education, on understanding, or maybe if it's a political argument and you don't listen to the other side, you could find things to argue against if that's what you're going for.
Right.
You
You,
need to
you-
be open to both sides of it just so you can get a better understanding of maybe your own points, even.
and okay, so let me ask you this: if you do what you say and you listen and you don't make these assumptions, don't jump to conclusions, do you feel that it would always enrich your life in some fashion? Do you think
Yeah,
that that's a good statement?
I think it would always, yes. I'm thinking it would always
It's hard
do
to
that.
always. It's hard to say always because someone will come up with a edge case. Well, but
I'd love to hear it. I want to hear
yeah,
what that edge case is.
what's the edge case? Yeah, and let's
Yeah,
see if we can poke a hole in it. Maybe you
yes,
can poke a hole in our theory of always. Because if you always listen to both sides, you will get enriched. Whether it's like you said, learning how to debate against whatever they're saying, or you're learning something new, and maybe you're seeing a new point of view that changes the way you think. Or
yeah,
maybe you're hearing something that just solidifies the way you think. But you
right.
should listen with an open mind. You can't just listen.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to you have to like, well, maybe they're right. Maybe they're trite. Maybe they're right. Words are hard today.
they can be.
So it's assumptions. Let's go to the assumptions, the old Eddie Murphy routine. When let's is there another phrase that you can say, and besides it's hard being a man, that just gives you an assumption or would give somebody an assumption of the opposite? Another example. Do you have another example?
So my immediate mind goes to something about people that are on disability are always, and then just fill in the phrase, they're trying to beat the system, or they're lazy, or just, I think there's a lot. That's what pops into my head, um, because I'm labeled as disabled, but it also doesn't mean that I can't do anything. It just means that I
Right.
can't stand at a job for more than 2 hours at a time, or I can't, whatever. So I
No
think
factory work for you.
what's that?
No
Yeah, no,
factory work.
no office work, even no sales,
Well,
which I was doing
retail. Yeah.
before.
You could do
Retail just wasn't.
office. You could do office.
I can't, because you know what? I can't sit for a long period of time either. A lot of times you see me twitching around in the seat
That's
and stuff
true.
like that.
Yeah. You stood up before when we're
I
talking.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do that either.
Uh,
So assumptions can be
assumption.
made. Oh my gosh,
And I
the
made
best,
an assumption.
the best. There you go. One of the best worst is, we actually heard people in the parking lot talking about me because I was standing next to the car watching Lori load water into the car. And the person is like, "Oh, what
Right.
is wrong with that guy?" And then it's like, I have a cane, and like Lori turns around and is like, "He's disabled. He's not supposed to lift more than 5 pounds." And they're like, "Oh, sorry." It's
Instead of going, "What's wrong with that guy?" Say, "Oh, I wonder what's wrong with that guy." Tone of voice,
and
a little bit of empathy is what goes a
yes,
long way.
yeah. Anyhow, so
And
that
that
was,
I guess
you wanted an example. There's an
those
example.
are good examples. I can't think of another one, so I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I suck at this, so that means everybody else is good, right?
That's right.
Oh,
You suck, and therefore you're useless.
I'm
Um,
useless. I'm useless anyway.
yeah,
I can't say whatever.
generalizations are also a problem,
They
because
are.
I don't think anything fits. I don't think any rule fits 100% of the time.
Except for the one
necessarily,
that we just said, that it's
except for that
always
one that we just said. Exactly. So yeah, it's one of those things where always don't make
well, yeah,
assumptions.
like all women are,
Right.
no, not all women are anything. Not, I mean,
Right.
you can't, all people from Asia are, no, they're not. All
Right.
people from Australia are, no, they're not.
Well, the
All
Australian.
politicians are crooked.
Well, there's an always maybe.
It's pretty
I,
hard,
I believe. I
I just
believe.
wanted to stick that in there for fun.
Well, see, now you've got me going off on a tangent because now I'm thinking about Douglas Adams' theory of it, where anybody that wants power shouldn't be given power. Is basically what it comes down to.
And that is a generalization, and I think that the wanting the power is the cue of the personality that says they shouldn't have it.
Yes.
But I want it. But that's why you shouldn't have it, because you're going to abuse it. There's something, and again, generalizing.
We're generalizing, sure.
There's an edge case in there where there's some guy who really wants the power to change things for good.
Yeah.
That is actually good for everybody, or at least 90% of the people, because there's nothing, you can't please all the people all the time. There's that rule.
Yeah.
Which is also a generalization that you can try to please everyone. No, you can't.
Well, this is why you have to listen and you have to make informed decisions instead of generalizations whenever you can.
And that's hard. How hard is it to do that? I mean, I'm better at it now.
You have to. That's it. You have to work at it. It has to be a skill that you develop. It's something that it's not something we are born to do, because as we have evolved, we've had to make generalizations to shortcut. We can't spend time thinking about every situation the exact same way. When we are confronted with the same set of circumstances over and over, we can't stop to make those same decisions every single time. We would be bogged down and nothing would get done. So as a species, we've evolved these shortcuts to I saw those eyebrows. We've evolved these shortcuts to be able to better function in life. But I think we also have to pull back from that a little bit too sometimes, and take the time to think about those.
Not all the time.
Topics. Not all the time. Not all the time.
Because that would be a generalization.
Yes. But I think when it's important, or when the situation warrants it, we need to take that time to make some statements, not assume anything, but eventually draw on a conclusion that could change at any point.
Yeah,
I think we've
have
lost control of this one.
I have an exercise for our audience, and I would like them to take this statement. I'm trying to think of a good statement. We'll just say this: all women are fill in the blank, and then
unique.
No, don't give any answers.
Don't give any. Okay. This is homework assignment.
This is a homework assignment.
Homework assignment. Okay.
And whether you comment in it or not doesn't matter. I want you to just do this yourself. When you say all women are, what's the first thing you think of?
Oh,
is it, and then evaluate why that is, and maybe why you could be incorrect, also known as wrong. But or what are the edge cases that don't follow that generalization that you just thought? Because then that'll help open your mind up to like, I get it. I get why generalizations don't work. I just can't say the word.
You got it. You got there eventually. You got it.
I got there. I had to slow down. That was a Jim Carrey impression. That was really bad.
Well, this has been Unprofessional Therapy. No degrees, just decades.
Yeah.
A little bit crazy, a little bit, I don't know, a little bit all over the place. I think we've covered some serious stuff and a little less serious and kind of serious, but a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah. So
we're just trying to help people get better. We're trying to help us be better people, and hopefully that makes other people, better people, and open your
Right.
mind and whatnot. So that's what we're doing. And now my eye is really crazy itchy.
Uh-oh.
Allergy.
Oh, not good. Not
No,
good.
okay, I got medicine.
Okay.
So
Maybe we'll
anyway,
stop and take some medicine then. Uh,
yeah,
Thank you to all those of you that are still here. Thank you for the subscribers. We want to encourage you to share this if you find it at all interesting. And even if you don't find it interesting, share it with two people. If you find it
yeah.
interesting, share it with another person.
Well, if you find it not interesting, share it with people you don't like.
That's a great way to do it.
These
In the
people
mean-
suck.
in the meantime, hey, that's going to tie into our next topic, I think.
Maybe watch next week to find out.
Watch to find out.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, thank you for watching. I've been Michael.
I've been Brad.
All right. And this has been Unprofessional Therapy.
Bye.